Hi, I'm Daryl with Full Bore Engraving. This is going to be part 2 of how to make a vinyl sticker. Part 1 was a day or two ago, and this will be part 2. This part will be showing you how we actually print them, get them ready to print. We already designed them and got them in the computer. We're going to export them to an Adobe file, PDF file, and then take it to the computer that's hooked up to our color laser printer. We're going to print the stickers, and then we're going to laminate them and run them through a cutting machine to cut them out to size. And that'll be the end of part 2. The first part of this is going to show how I arrange the stickers on the page, and then we'll show you how to get them cut. So thanks for tuning in again. Please share, subscribe, comment, and let other people know that if you like this video, and please click on the like if you think this video is worth it. So just sit back, and here in just a second, we're going to go through this process of getting it printed and cut out, and that'll be it. Thanks. See you in a second. Okay, before we get into that, you may have noticed on the first video that I showed that there was a mistake. In fact, the thumbnail of this video shows that there's a mistake from the first part of the video. So I'm going to fix that real quick and show you what I did wrong. I hope you had a chance to put some comments in about what you think I did wrong, and I'll be reading every one of them. So let me know in the comments whether or not you caught it or not. Even if you didn't comment on the first one, comment on this one. So I've got this CorelDraw pulled back up, and you can see here is what I left it last time as the sticker being ready. Well, that's not quite right. I've drawn a rectangular box filled with yellow, and I've put it behind all of this other stuff. I want to show you. So if I go around the picture of the dog, you can see clearly where the edge is. Well, that's easy because there's grass behind him. That's the extent of the bitmap, is where the edges are. But over here, where these ugly dolls are, what you don't realize is there's stuff around them too. So let me pull this down below, and you can see there's a white bitmap around each one of them. That's part of the bitmap, whether you like it or not. That's part of the bitmap, and that's not really what I want when I want to cut out a sticker. So if I pull it back over here to where I left it earlier on the last video, you'll see I didn't cut close around this bitmap to get rid of the white, because there it is where the yellow is. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the outline that I did last time and just move it over a couple 6 inches. And we'll take the red boundary that I made for this one with the vector. I'm going to pull it up. Well, and there's the problem. I've moved this already. So just to give you an idea, I'm just going to try to hand move this in the right spot. So let's just move this up here and zoom in a little bit and just move it around till we can get it pretty close. And this is one of the reasons I tell you to nudge instead of move, because it's almost impossible to get it back exactly like you want. That's close enough just for purposes of showing you what I did wrong. So I'm going to, now that I've got that outline moved right back to where the entire picture is, I'm going to select, first thing I'm going to do, that's another problem. If you ever have a big rectangle or something behind it, it's hard to select stuff inside without moving this. One way you can get by with that is come up to the top, right at the edge of it, right click it, go down to lock. You see the little lock showing up right here? That means no matter what we do, that background won't move, that little box won't move. So now we can select both of these with the pick tool, go up here like I did before on the dog, and hit the intersect button, And then you can move these separately, and then again we're going to have the same problem as getting that lined up like we want, but that's pretty close. You get the idea. So now if I select both of these together and hit Control G, I've grouped them together, same as going to Object, Group, and then group them. They're already grouped, so now the only choice I've got is to ungroup. But anyway, that was the mistake that I made. So now I can move this around wherever I want, and that will be my sticker. And it uses this black line to, when I get to the cutting part, see, that's not quite. Let's ungroup it real quick and put it a little bit closer to where it needs to be. Let's just drag that around a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty close. Anyway, so I'm going to group them back. So I use this black line later when I show you the cut, where I can cut inside of it just a little bit, and it will leave a white. Let's get rid of this yellow line here, this yellow background. Unlock it and just move it out of the way. So that's the sticker that I'll be using. It'll have this little white border around it. I'll cut the little black line off inside of it, and you'll see the sticker. So anyway, that was a mistake. So I'm going to get off of this real quick, and then we'll finish this video out, and you'll see how it all turns out. Thanks. Okay, we're back in CorelDraw 2020 again. We're basically where we left off in part 1. In part 1, we made this dog sticker, and we made this ugly doll sticker. And if you want to know how I actually did it, it came from this photo right here. We cut it all out and put the line around it. If you want to see that process, you need to see part 1 of this video. And then this one also, we made it after we did the dog. It's a lot simpler than doing the dog, but if you want to see how I did that, and that's going to be my cut line. I'm going to cut inside that line so there won't be any black, but there'll be a white border around each one of these stickers. That's what the outline is for. So I'm going to select these and just move them out of the way. And I've already got a set of stickers I'm going to print that I basically made just like the two you saw in part 1. So here they all are. Different ugly dolls, different dogs, and there's the two dogs that we just, two copies of the dog sticker we just made. Then I just turn this one in here to see if I can fit another one in. So basically what we need to do here, for the software that I use, it needs to be a PDF file. So I've got this one selected, all those selected, and I'm going to go File, and I'm going to Export, and then make sure it's PDF. And in this case, I'm going to export it to my NAS drive on the network, and just call it Stickers for Addison and Wyatt. That's my 2 oldest grandchildren. Hit Export. Make sure selection is picked because I don't want the rest of the stuff showing up in there, and hit OK. And then just to make sure that it worked, I'll look at the NAS drive down towards the bottom, and there they are. It's ready to go. Okay. Well, that's going to be it for this little first part. And the next thing you'll see is I'll be at a different computer with the printer and the cutter, and I'll show you how. Go ahead and print that out on the laser printer. I'm going to show you how I'll laminate them and then run them through the cutter to cut each one of these individual ones out with that machine. So hang on a second, and we'll be right back, and we'll start that process. Okay, now we're in another room of my house where I work out of. This, you can see I pulled up the page of the printer of the stickers that I designed. This is the software I use for printing. I'm not going to go into what that software is. It's probably something you'll never use, but it does a lot of different things, dye sublimation, all kinds of things. But anyway, this is going to be the stickers that we designed earlier. This is the paper that I'm going to be using. AIVA group, a paper group. It's a vinyl sticker paper for laser printers because I'm using the laser printer. And this particular printer is a Uninet. And it's an iColor 550. And because it uses toner, that also helps it be waterproof. I've got other papers that I use. I've got some that I use for my best stickers. But I'll try to put those in the comments or in the description at the bottom just to show you what all I use. If you have any particular questions about what I use or how to do all this, just let me know in the comments. So anyway, I'm going to print this real quick. I'm going to use the bypass tray. So let me put this camera down. And we'll just let it. It's not going to be very spectacular. It's just going to put a piece of paper out of there. But so in this particular printer, we need to put the print side down. And that's one complaint I have about this paper. It's hard to tell where the print side is because they both look the same. I've got this one set to where my print side is up. So I know I could flip that over and put it down in here. Upside down or print side down. And I'll come back to the computer over here and I'll print the page. Alright, there it is. The page of stickers. Now I'm going to move you over to this other machine. We're going to cut these out. And I'll show you how that works. Alright, I'm over here at the Brother Scan and Cut DX machine. Just open that up, get out my tools. Which the only thing I usually use is this little pointer and the spatula. Lay it there, put this back. Turn it on. And while that's turning on, I'm going to show you what we have to do to load this machine up. Hope you can see this. Let me scoot the camera over just a little bit. So this is a mat that we need to put that in. First I'll peel off, this is a dirty one, I've used it quite often. Peel off that plastic protective cover. In this case I'm going to turn this one around because it's a little stickier over here. And we line this up with this grid. Line that up as best you can. And it's a tack board. So you can just push it down and it will stick. I usually use a roller to help adhere it to the board or to the mat. Roll that out really good. And that's all it is to prepare it. I told you the reason I put these lines around each one of these earlier. I did that so I can tell this machine to cut either on that line, outside the line, or inside the line. In this case, I want to cut it on the inside of that line. There'll still be a white border around each one of these, but you won't see the little black line. And if it's there, no big deal. But that was the intent. So, I've had a little trouble with this machine lately, so let's hope it works well this time. Okay, for those who want to see how this scan and cut works, let me pull this over. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we'll pull that around a little bit. And again, I'm going to just demonstrate how this works. If you want a more in-depth tutorial on how to use this machine, this is a really cool machine, by the way. It's saved me a lot of time. You line this up, you press this button here, it's going to it's going to pull this sheet into the machine and scan it. So let's push that button. And here's where I've been having the problem. I'm going to have to get with somebody and figure out what's wrong. There we go. So it pulls it in. Make sure the back is cleared off. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to tell it, I know you probably can't see this. Again, if you are interested, I will make another video of just how to use this machine and all the particulars about it. It's really cool. Send comments if you want to see it. If I don't get comments on it, I probably won't do any more videos about this machine. So click on Scan, click on Direct Cut, tell it where you want it to save it. In this case, it's going to be the machine itself, and hit Start. It pulls the paper in, and there's a scanner inside this thing. So when it pulls it in and brings it back out, it is scanning to see where all those stickers are and registering that in its memory. Then it's processing it. And it's ready. So I go over here and click OK. I tell it where's the edge of my paper by moving this little margin up. Move this one over. That looks right. Hit Preview. That looks pretty good. I'm going to hit OK. And this time I'm going to hit Edit. That will show me which ones of these it's actually, make sure it's picked them all out separately. That looks good, good, good. Scrolling through every one of the individual objects, making sure it recognized them. And it did. Hit OK. And this is where, I know again you probably can't see this, I'm going to say I want to cut inside the black line by 4/100ths of an inch. Hit OK. Hit OK again. Hit Select, Cut, and Start. So now it's going to pull it back through, and using what it scanned in its memory, it knows where all those objects are, and it's going to do a little test cut. That's what it's doing right now. It's going to make sure it knows the thickness of the paper you're using. How it does that, I don't know. And then it goes to cutting, hopefully, on the inside of each one of those little black lines. And when we get through, I'll show you how to peel all these stickers apart, and they'll be ready for the grandkids to wreak havoc on the world. I don't know what that popping is. I hope it's not catching on something down there. I need a new, I've got some new pads here, but I've cleaned this one off and repaired it once, and I'm probably going to do it again, but I probably just need to use a new one. The sticky gets wore off after a while, and you have to either buy a new one or clean this one off and put some more sticky stuff down. In that case, I've been using this, I don't even know what to call it. It's a two-way glue, they call it. And it's, you can put it on there and it just becomes tacky. And it won't actually dry, and you can stick stuff on it and peel it back off. Kind of like rubber cement. And again, you want any more in-depth how-tos of how that works, let me know. And it's finished. Tell it OK. I'm going to push this button to eject it. Hit OK. There it goes. So, Now, I'll show you how I peel these off. So I'll take my little spatula and I'll start peeling at a corner usually. So I'm going to peel here and peel off this big part, outside part of all the stickers. And that is it. Now, for one final tip, and probably the biggest tip of all for grandparents, is make sure your grandkids go home before they use these stickers. You don't want them all over your own wall.